We're going to show you Susan's favorite tool today, which is the pineapple ruler.
Yes, and I've actually never done it, so Susan is going to be teaching me while she's teaching you guys.
Exactly. And the pineapple trim ruler is from Creative Grids, and it is a wonderful ruler. If any of you love pineapple quilts, oh my goodness. In fact, I should show that pineapple quilt while we're waiting.
You should.
I'll take you on a little tour here at the Sandy store. There we go. All right. Let me take you on a little field trip here. Okay, take a look at that pineapple quilt. Is that gorgeous or what? Here, let me see if I can get this straight. That is beautiful, isn't it? And that's done with K Fabrics, and our friend Kay Evans made that. And I love having it hang right there on the wall. So wonderful tool to have. Any of you going to join us for our Comment Sold sale tonight? These K Fabrics behind me, some of them are going to be on sale. So watch for that. Okay. So let's take a look and see where did her sample go, and we can show them the finished sample. Sound good? Yeah, it is a pretty quilt, isn't it? Oh, here we go. Okay. So this is a really simple version of a pineapple. So you can kind of see the difference between something that is definite, fabrics that are definitely set apart one from the other, or you can see one that you see in the background behind me that these colors just kind of blend in together. And it really just depends, obviously on the fabrics that you use. Okay, so this is a little more cut and dry, that one is a little bit more mixed, and both are beautiful in their own way. And I love that what Susan did was she made it into a little pot holder. So she's ready now, so let's go take a look. And welcome, Susan. Could you grab me a chair if you wouldn't mind? Okay. Hi, Susan.
Hello, everybody.
So excited to have you on 3 at 3.
Oh, thank you.
Now Susan had to take a little break when COVID first started, and she never missed a 3 at 3.
No,
Did you?
There's so many projects I have half made downstairs that I have to finish.
That's right. Because you got so many fun ideas that you wanted to do.
And it really helped me feel like I was still part of the sewing community when I had to stay home.
That's right.
Yeah, I love 3 at 3. I record them, I go home and watch them if I'm working. So.
That's so nice, but now she gets to be on 3 at 3.
Which is a little scary, so everybody be nice.
You will not find a nicer group than these ladies right here. And a few gentlemen. There's a few gentlemen who always join us. But yeah, this group is, remember, we're a small gang, right?
just 100 or 200 of us.
Yeah, that's right. We're a small gang. So this is Susan, and she is going to share with us one of her favorite tools, which is the pineapple trim tool. Why don't you go ahead and show us what it looks like?
I love tools, and I love specialty rulers. And is there one? Ashley, is there one there that's still in the package?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the pineapple trim tool from Creative Grids. There's 2 sizes. This is the small one. It will make a 4, 5, or 6 inch block. The pot holder that Kris showed you, we made with the larger one, which will make up to a 12.5 inch block. I love Creative Grid rulers. I think their instructions are wonderful and they're easy to understand. And I just wanted to show you how you make these cute pineapple blocks, but you don't have to cut precisely. You don't have to
That's huge.
do any angles. Everything's figured out for you on the ruler. So.
Okay, so let's take a look at what you're doing. Are you going to do it right up here? Okay.
Okay, well, here, let's do it. The only precision cut you have to do is the very center of the block. And for the small ruler, it says just to precisely cut a 1.5 inch square. And I figure I can do 1 square perfectly. And then the instructions on the ruler tell you all the sizes that your strips need to be. You probably can't see it on here, but there's a chart that tells you how long the strips need to be for each round of the pineapple, and none of them are longer than 4 inches, so the longest seam you're sewing is about 3.5 inches long, which means this is super easy even for beginners.
Okay.
Okay, and let me show you how this works.
Okay. You go on this side, make sure that you can see it, okay?
Okay. So I'm taking my little square,
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you can see it.
and I pre-cut all my strips and laid them out and numbered them so that when I start sewing, I can just sew. Also, this is a great project to make sure you have your cutting and your little pressing set up right next to you. At home, I have one of those little ironing tables and my wool pressing mat.
Yes, absolutely.
And you just put right sides together. And sew a 1/4 inch. And I love this crescendo because it has a 1/4 inch line right there. So I'm not using my 1/4 inch foot because these pieces are so small that I've set it to go sew it a 1/4 inch, but I have more presser foot holding down my fabric. It also has scissors. So I'm just going to do that. Wrong color.
Okay, so notice let's take a look at something here, because I noticed you're not going to cut that off.
Not now, I'm not.
No.
Because
Okay.
I would have to figure out a 45-degree angle and make sure it was the same size on each side of the square.
Again, remember, we're not doing a log cabin here. We're doing the pineapple block.
And it's one of those things that after you make a couple of rounds, it's so simple. Because you sew 4 pieces on, then you trim them using the ruler so you don't have to think, and then do it again. Well, I'm going to put all 4 pieces on, and this is what I end up with. So now we're going to move to
That's very strange. Like, that's not how you would normally sew,
No.
right?
Yes, and I cut these longer than they needed to be. On the instructions, it says these first pieces only need to be 2 inches long. But I don't have to worry about any of that.
Exactly. So it's a great way to use your stash, right?
It's perfect.
And you don't have to cut to precision yet.
And none of your strings have to be wider than 1.5 inches. So if you're like me and you can't bear to throw any of your fabric away, it's perfect.
There
And
you
now
go.
we're going to use the ruler. Can we slide
we'll go
down?
over here.
And on my ruler, it tells me right here where I want to center my first block. So I'm centering my block right there. Only I'm left-handed, so I have to do it the other way.
I didn't know you were left-handed.
Yes, makes things like this tricky.
Oh my goodness. I've known you all this time and never knew that.
Okay, so you can see where it says my center line for round 1, and my little 1-inch square is there perfectly. And now what I'm going to do is just cut exactly where it tells me to on the ruler.
When you have a blade that actually, yes, can cut.
When we haven't been cutting 8 million pieces of fabric. So I'm going to do that on all 4 sides and see how quick this goes.
This is really where the precision comes into play. And it will be absolutely perfect.
It is. So now I have my first round done. I have my 1/4 inch seam allowances, and I'm going to put the second round on.
Okay.
And you put the second round on.
And it's going to look something
It's
like
going
that.
to look like the purple.
Oh my goodness, look at that. Okay. How cool is that?
And I'm
I
just
love that.
just going to take my little pieces that I set up. And this time, again, I'm just sewing them on a straight line. I never have to sew an angle to an angle. And I'll do the same thing with this. Sew on my 4 2-inch pieces. Go back to my ruler. And it tells you on the ruler which square to put it on.
So that was round 2.
That was round 2.
So this one would be round 3.
Round 3. And so
round 3, you have a new square.
I have a new
there.
square to put on there. And again, I'm just going to cut it again. Okay, that's fine. Helps to have the ruler the right side up. So actually, I'm going to put... Oh, no, I know what I'm doing. I need to do it like this. So what I'm doing is putting this so that my 1/4 inch seam allowance is on that seam. And there's the centering line for the 45-degree angle.
I love that.
So on the even rounds, you don't have to do anything but line that up. And you just make 4 cuts. And again, I just put the line on the 2 corners of my previous round.
Wonderful.
Okay. No. There. I get confused.
No, that's okay. You just have a few hundred people watching.
That
at
could be
once,
why.
So yeah.
But and then again for my 4th round, I would just pick the next strip that I've already pre-cut, sew it straight to straight, and just go on and see how perfect those corners are.
Oh yeah, you get perfect points.
And there's a really cool way. I sew everything from the back.
What? You do?
Okay, I put this on, flip it over to the back because I really want my perfect corners. I'm going to make sure my 1/4 inch seam goes right where those 2 previous stitches cross.
That's true.
Yeah,
Good
and that way it's always easy. The longest seam that you make is about 4 inches for this block.
Wow.
You don't have to backstitch.
Yeah. No.
So that saves a whole lot of time.
Yeah.
When you're all finished with it, you finish it with triangles up at the top. And this is listed in the instructions. Instead of round 10, what you would do is you'd put these triangles on the top, and the instructions show you how to line them up, just like this. And with your instructions and with your ruler, it shows you where to line them up. And then when I'm all finished and I've pressed it really well, I go around the outside of the block and just do a straight stitch to keep everything together, because it's a lot of little pieces, but it doesn't feel like you've sewn a lot of little pieces.
Right. Exactly. Very true.
And this block, the block we looked at before, this was made with the bigger pineapple, and you can see the difference in the sizes of the pieces you cut.
Oh yeah, very small.
So this one honestly is a little easier because you've got bigger pieces, but this was very simple. This only takes about 10 minutes to get this far, and maybe 30 minutes to make the whole block.
I love that.
Oh, one thing I forgot to mention is I told you to get your cutting mat and your pressing mat. It's real important to press this as you go. It helps just keep everything flat. There's a lot of seams that come together, so you want it as flat as possible. And so I love my wool pressing mat and my best press to do that. And especially on this little ruler, I use my little iron, like these little steam fast irons that we have. This works great because you are only pressing in specific places.
Oh yes, right.
Yeah.
Yep, I love that.
Yeah, and it's just a lot of fun. And like I said, I went through, I set out all my rows and numbered them, so I can just go from sewing, trimming, pressing, sewing, trimming, pressing, and It goes really fast, and it's a lot of fun, and it makes a really cool looking antique block.
Oh, it does.
Mhm.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
I've seen them done so many different ways, and depending on what fabrics you use, you're going to get completely different looks.
This one is scrappy,
Mm-hmm.
as you can tell. So is this little one that I started. But I'm also going to make one just with this pretty blue batik and white. So I'm just going to have a blue and white block. I've seen a whole quilt in the red and white pineapples, and it's absolutely gorgeous. So there's a ton of different ways to use this.
Mm-hmm.
And Creative Grids also has some wonderful videos on their site that take you step by step through this.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You did a wonderful job,
It's
Susan.
fun. Try this. I
You
love
did a wonderful
tools. The
job.
more
I know.
tools you have, the better.
Exactly. Exactly. And you know what? A lot of people are saying thank you for the tip about sewing from the back, that they would not have thought of it that way. And so, what do you think, my friend?
That was great.
Yeah.
Now I know how to do them.
There you go.
We'll have Ashley make one next, and we'll show you.
Hey, there you go. There you go.
We'll see how that turns
Exactly. Exactly. No, you did a great job. Thank you,
you.
Susan.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you. Yes. How fun. I love these ladies, and one of the things that I love is to be able to share with you you know, a little bit about the people who work here, because let me tell you, it's it takes a village, right? And it's not about me, it's about we. And together we're like figuring all of this out together, right? So love these women. Thank you, Susan.
Oh,
and
you're
Ashley.
welcome. Ashley's already helping a
There
customer.
you go. Exactly. All right. Kathleen said, thanks, Susan. I would have never thought to make that block, but you made it look so easy.
It's so much easier than it looks. It's very
Yeah.
impressive to other people.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, and that is so true. She said it's very impressive to a lot of people, and it is. It's very impressive. It's a very impressive block. And the Creative Grids makes it so much easier, so much more simple. So there is your little how-to.